When we're heading out onto grade 2 and 3 scrambling type ground, we're going to need a bit more kit than we would on grade 1 scrambles. But ultimately, we still want to be able to enjoy the experience. We don't want to be bogged down with a great big rock climbing rack and a great big heavy rope, because it's just going to mean that we're going to move slowly and we're going to take a lot of the enjoyment and a lot of the freedom out of the scrambling, which we're here to enjoy for the movement ultimately. So what are we going to take with us? As well as our guidebook, we're going to need a harness of some sort. I really like this. This is a DMM super cool wire. Really simple, not a lot of padding, but it's really, really light and you're not going to be hanging around in it a great deal. It's also really easy to put on and take off without having to lift your feet off the floor. So if you have soloed up a bit, got yourself onto a bit of a small ledge and then decided, actually, I could do with having a harness on here, you can make life a little bit easier for yourself that way. But perhaps make life even easier by putting it on at the start of the scramble, whether you think you're going to need it or not, and then it's there ready for the rope to tie into it. Metal jangly bits, again, we're going to keep it really simple. We're going to try and keep it light. We're not going to carry the world. So I just carry 4 or 5 quick draws. I quite like quick draws that are extendable. So these will double up, so I can use them as a normal length quick draw, or I can lengthen them off. And I've got something that's a little bit longer, which I could also then use as a sling on a spike if I wanted to. And a lot of the sort of ground that we're dealing with in scrambling is spikes. And a lot of the time we're trying to keep the rope running smoothly, and slings really help us with that. So 4 or 5 quick draws, and then I've got 3 slings. These are 120 slings, so we don't need anything longer. And then if I double those up with my extendable quick draws, I've got a range of sizes there. I keep these nice and neat on my harness. If I halve the length of my sling and then just put some twists in the end and clip the crab back in, that'll stop it from tripping me up as I'm scrambling. So I've got a couple of cams, DMM Dragon cams. It gives me a range of different sizes that I can use in parallel sided cracks, but they're not necessary. If you haven't got cams but you've got hexes, hexes will do the job just as nicely and equally give you that bigger range of crack protection that the Dragon cams would give you. On the back of my harness, I've got my abseil kit, which is my prussiks, and then I'll just keep a knife hidden away in my rucksack just in case I should need to clean some abseil tat. And then half a set of wires, so I'm not carrying a full set of wires. And you can just carry odd numbers or just carry even numbers, and that'll give you a nice range of sizes. And I really like these DMM oval crabs. It's a great way of carrying your wires without them all bunching up the bottom of a narrow end of a carabiner, and with a really nice smooth nose on it as well, so your wires aren't going to get bunched up. So really simple rack. I've then got my belay plate and then just a couple of spare screw gate carabiners as well. And that's not going to weigh too much. Helmet, so we're venturing into steeper ground where we've got the risk of things coming down from above and perhaps the risk of knocking our head as well. So a helmet's a personal choice, but it probably makes sense on this sort of steeper type terrain. Boots. Something bright and colourful is really good, but perhaps something with a stiffer sole as well. So once you're getting onto this steeper sort of terrain, you'll find that a stiffer sole with an asymmetrical shape to it is going to give you a little bit more positivity on the smaller holds, a little bit more support when you're wedging into slots and cracks as well. And then finally, we've got our rope. Again, the emphasis being on something that's not too heavy. So this is just 30 meters. This is a very lightweight single rope. So you don't need anything too heavy. You don't need anything too long, and that'll do the job nicely for us.